Hey guys, Stephanie here with creatingfromtheheart.weebly.com, and today is day 11 of the video series, and today is a painting. I was going to do a canvas painting, but I realized I was out of canvas painting, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it on acrylic paper instead. But it'll work out fine that way too. So I'm going to go ahead and get my supplies ready, and I'll be right back in a second. Okay, so here's the supplies that you're going to need. I have got like I said, acrylic paper, and I had adhered it down to a piece of cardstock backing, or not cardstock backing, cardboard backing to make it thicker. And then you're going to also need your paints. I'm going to be using the Daler-Rowney acrylic paints of the raw umber, as well as regular brown, dark blue, and sorry about that, and light blue. You're also going to need some white acrylic paint, and these are here acrylic as well. And this is just an apple barrel, because you'll use a lot of white, so I don't want to use my small tube white of those. And you don't want it glossy, you want it just flat, so you'll need that there. You're going to need just some sea sponges to blend it in. These here are kind of hard and dried, but I'll be using the clean sides of them. So you're going to need some sea sponges to blend it in, as well as you're going to need brushes. I'm going to be using a number 6 brush, and I'll be using a number 3 brush of the pointy brush. As well as I'm going to be keeping a wipe close by, and I'll be using a lot of water. So I'll go ahead and show you how we're going to get this started. If I can get my camera to fix here. Sorry y'all, I ain't trying to make you sick. I'm trying to get my camera to fit in this hole here good. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is use your raw umber, and you're going to put it around the edges in a circular motion. You're going to want to use quite a bit of it. I'm almost actually out of this, so I'll probably have enough to do this painting, and that's it. Using my sponge and my water, I'm going to wet my sponge really well. I'm doing it off camera so you don't get, I don't get all of the papers and stuff. Just kind of squeezing it in here so that it gets soaked in there. And then you're going to take your sponge, and you're going to kind of help blend it around. Now it'll lighten up quite a bit because it's watering it down, but that's okay. You're going to go into a circular motion, cover the whole page up with it. And then start trying to clean your circles up by keeping it in a straight motion. Now it's still a little light for my liking, so now I'm going to take my regular brown and go back over it. Oh, I forgot this brown here does this stupidness. It clumps up. This one here does for some odd reason. So instead of using that brown, I'm just going to use my apple barrel melted chocolate brown here instead. Shake it up here a little bit. And the pieces are falling off. And you really can't use too much of this because we're going to be blending it all in the page. It's just taking it darker and darker. So my camera is giving me problems today. I figured it out. It was upside down, which is why it wouldn't hold the camera. Alright, so going back into this, just blending it all around the page. and going a little bit in here, not a whole lot. Now the whole point of what's doing this here is going from a lighter version to a color version, because eventually we're going to be using a takeaway technique to do it. Okay, so now I've got it pretty well how I want it. So now we're going to do the takeaway technique, like I was telling you about. I'm going to use my wipe here to clean up this excess mess. What are you doing, buddy? Now I'm just going to take a baby wipe and kind of throw it into a kind of a square, cube-ish. And I'm going to actually take away some of this in the inner side of it. Not a whole lot. It won't take it all away. So just enough to lighten up the... What, baby? Hold on. To take away some of it. Now going more into it. Okay. Now I'm going to use my dark blue and put the paint on top of the lighting that we just took away. Using my smaller C sponge. Wetting it off camera so it'll get in there. And I'm going to take my slot sponge and in circular motion. I'm going inside the white part we covered up, and I'm going in circular motions around where I want it to go. Now here's where the fun part begins. I really love doing this part. We're going to take some of the white acrylic paint. Well, and put some of it in the middle. And then use the light blue, and you want to just put a little bit, like a drop on it. And now we're going to keep this directly in the middle, using the same sponge because it's got some left over on it, so it'll blend it in as well. And just going completely in the middle right there. And you want to make a thin, kind of like a border with these colors, what you're doing. You're blending it until you make a color. Now, if you feel like that's too dramatic of a change, like I do right now, what you want to do is you want to take some more of that dark blue, put spots on each, kind of like each corner of the circle, and blend some more, not adding nothing to it, just blend some more of that blue in here. You can go outside the circle a little bit if you would like to help blend it in. Now I'm going to use some more of my raw umber, the lighter brown, trying to go back over the inner edges, not a whole lot, but just a little bit. Use my same sponge that I used for the browns earlier. Actually, I'm going to kind of dab that, clean that up some. Let me get some of this excess off of it here. Some actually, it's a bit too much left on it. Okay, now. So we're bringing that raw umber back into this blue. Is what we're doing. Bring it back into this blue. Bringing it back into this blue. So what we're doing is basically putting that blue in the background. So I'm bringing it lightly and easily back into that. Now you'll see we've covered it up. We've covered that blue all back up. So we're going to take a white now and lightly brush over the center of it to where it actually brings it back in. So You're probably saying, well, what's the point of covering it if you're going to back in? Well, it's the fact of getting it to the shades of blue and shades of the brown to mix it all in just right, so it'll be right color background that you like. So I'm just lightly, not even barely pressing hard. You can see I barely got it in my rag. Just lightly bringing it, that was blues, back out. And like that right there. So I feel happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and clean this mess here up and my hands up, and then we'll go ahead and start with the foreground. We are done with the background. We'll start with the foreground. So I went ahead and clean my desk off now, and now we're going to start on the foreground. And what we're going to do now is work on the tree and the blooms. Now, I've done one of these before, and I will show you my video, my image of it. Let me see if I can, oh, my stuff's falling off. Let me swing at my camera here to show you. This is the one that I have done before, but when I've done this one, I use strictly white and raw umber to make a lighter background. But for this one here, I wanted it to be a darker background, so you can see the totally different background here than this one. But we are doing the same tree effect as what we done on this one. I'm doing the same thing with it on here. I'm not doing the blue blooms. Blue blooms. I am doing purple. And I'm actually doing a different technique. I'll be using the apple barrel brown for the tree trunk. I'm going to be using the Simply by Della Ronnie Simply Violet, but using it for like the inner spots, like the darker ones here and there maybe. And then I'll be using the acrylic white, as well as this right here, but the main purple I'll be using, which is by Apple Barrel. It's called Purple Iris. Then once it's done, I'll be using my fond chip to add the glitter to the purple, using the Folk Art Extreme Glitter. And I'll be using the white glitter to the white, using the Folk Art Extreme Glitter as well. So, I'll go ahead and put the stuff up here that I'm not going to be using, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use my Apple Barrel brown to do the trunk with. I'm going to screw off the lid. And I'm going to just bring it now, because we use so much in the background, it's going to blend in, but I'll use some black probably later on to help it give detail inside the tree, as well as as well as outlining the tree so that it will show between the background and the foreground. Okay, so all I'm doing is making the tree going up to the top here, and he'll come back down, and then now I'm going to be making branches off of it. I'm going to now use my detail brush for smaller branches. But you don't want to overdo it though either. You just want it more to make it look a little natural. And you can have them going on top of each other, below each other, however you like to do it. It's, you know, your design. Here I'm just kind of adding a little brown to the lines so that it keeps them nice and curvy and stuff. So just fixing the tips a little bit better. So that'll be all I'm going to do with the brown. I think the tree is well enough fit to go ahead and do on. So you'll see that's the tree branches and the tree. I always get use my heat tool to heat dry this real fast, and then I'll be back whenever it's dried. Okay, so I've got it heat dried enough now. Now I'm just using a piece of plastic. This right here actually came from my packaging of the Tim Holtz mini paper clips. And I'm just going to use that little circle in it to apply put the paint in. Now it's really tricky of how you do with this paint. What you want to do is you're going to put the color of the blends that you're using. Not too much, but like lightly in, and put it halfway. Don't cover it. And then use your white and put on the other half. But don't mix these. They need to be side by side like this. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your brush and dip it in both colors like this. And you'll get that there. And then you're going to take them, and it's however you want them. If you wanted the and then you do like that there. And we'll do it back and forwards throughout the whole time. We'll have the purple in the inner, white tipped, and back and forth. So you'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and put you down here, and you'll see me finishing up the project. And I try to go back and forwards with it, that way it'll do it. So like that one. Now I'm going to be doing one here that has the purple tips as well. So now I'm going to do it purple with white tips. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to get me a better phone cord. And there towards the tips of the branches, you might want to sometimes just put little half flowers, because we're going to make it where the branches fall. The wind's blowing the branches out in the wind. So Thank you, buddy. I got my little son in here right now helping me. He's not really helping, but he thinks he is. Right now I'm just putting on a solid white one, so that way later on I can use the Simply Acrylic that I was telling you about and putting it in the middle. Now I'm just kind of putting out a couple of the petals in the air now, like I was telling you about them blowing in the wind. You'll notice that I'm not very much of, I don't refill it every time that I do a different flower. I just refill every now and then. Make it blend in more. I'm also going to put a solid purple one on here, and then later on use that white glitter for the centerpiece, so it helps sparkles it. And the reason why I'm doing it is you can see that the color of the blooms don't really match the background, but I'm showing you this because sometimes it's okay to use something new. Don't use the same color pouches or slouches or whatever they're called, and like you keep your quills and naturals together, you know, mix it up. It gives it more definition, as well as it could give you something totally new idea. And a lot of times that's what happens is people's afraid to try stuff new, but they'll see that it pays off really well. And nowadays in times, you're seeing a lot more of artwork being, majority of it being one type of media, and then there's one item on it, or there's one color on it. It's got like glitter or a different media, so that it helps it pop out more. And that's exactly what you need to do, is something that's different that'll catch people's eyes. I'm gonna put another white one up here somewhere here. Now that I'm getting closer to the trunk, I'm just kind of using my tip of my brush to where I can make smaller flowers and stuff in it. And then I'll use the tip to add the color in the middle. Okay, so I feel like that's good enough with the blooms. I'm going to now take my glittery purple and put in one of the empty slots of the plastic that we it was using. I'm going to put some of my white glitter ones down as well. And then on the flat part of it, I'll use my Simply Acrylic and put a glob down on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Simply Acrylic one down the purple in the middles that I was talking about. It's a darker purple than what we're using, so it gives it a little bit more definition. And I'm not going over every one of these with the purple one. I'm just kind of going over a little bit of it to help give it definition and shadows and stuff. So it's going to be pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead now with my white acrylic glitter and go in where I think it, looks good at. Now I'll put some of the glitter on the white that we just did as well on the petals, the loose petals, not on all of them, but just a few of them. Quit, Bobby. Put it down there. And now I'm going to use the purple glitter and put them on there, on some of the ones that the loose petals, and as well on some of the tips of the purple. And some of these petals I put the white glitter inside. I'm putting a little dot of purple in the middle as well. It just helps it bring it out so much more. So and there we go. So now the last thing that I'm going to do last thing I'm going to do here is get my black folk art, or apple bar, I'm sorry, to use as a lining. I don't need that, baby. Quit. And I'm just going to put it back in there. Yeah.
I don't know if you forgot or not, but there's almost a whole ton of white still.
Yeah, Nicole, I know. Okay, so now I'm just taking my black and defining the tree a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And you'll see right now it's getting put on a little thick, and I don't like it much either. But I'll be taking my a wipe and kind of blend them in just a little bit. So, all right. So I'm about to put on. Now you'll see I'm gonna take a wipe here, wrap it around my finger like this, and blend it out into the tree some, so it dilutes it a little bit. Okay, so here's the finished product, and you know, like I said, you won't be able to see the glitter a whole lot. You might can see it sparkle a little bit there and stuff, but the purple really stands out with the background we chose and stuff, so I really like it, and I hope you all liked it too, and you learned something from it. Maybe you can paint this picture now for yourself as well. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out my blog at www.createfromtheheart.weebly.com, and stay tuned for the rest of this month's video series. Bye!